total, you can't move your body. And a lot of people, that terrifies people. And one of the things I've tried to make clear in my books is that's just normal. It's nothing to be afraid of. Just go with it. Enjoy it. All of the vibrational state phenomena that's so common. The key to really OBEs is to not only to learn about this, but then to accept it and appreciate it. I enjoy the vibrational state. I enjoy paralysis. I enjoy that roaring sound that goes through me. I enjoy all these aspects. And I don't, in other words, once you get over that fear, that's when you can really begin to have multiple experiences. Because we're naturally, think about it, their physical is not this is not us. It's not our home. Our natural state is non-physical consciousness. So during an out-of-body experience, we're only reverting back to what we really are.
That's where we started.
That's the natural. The OBE state is much more natural state than the physical body. The physical body is just a temporary, unnatural state, and that we'll discard. And so that's the way I look at it, and that mindset helps me and others to have multiple experiences.
Let's go to our first-time caller line. You're on the air with us. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi. Go ahead, please.
Hi, it's Linda from Temecula, and I've never had an out-of-body experience, but I've read a lot about it because it's really fascinating. But I was wondering if you've ever observed a deceased person or animal without the astral cord, because my fear is that the astral cord is a mechanism that emanates from the physical body that maybe is the ultimate survival mechanism, meaning that, it prevents you from knowing that you may actually die.
The astral beings that I encountered, and I've encountered many of them, I've never seen cords attached to any of them. If I understand your question, the astral. I wouldn't be too hung up on this cord idea. I don't think, number one, the cord is. It can't be broken per se, so there's no fear that should be directed around that subject. It's not really an issue to be concerned with.
But do you believe it is there?
I've experienced it early
but not
on,
all the
but
time, right?
I haven't experienced it in the last 15 years. But I did in the first 5 years of my out-of-body experiences.
I wonder why not. Where does it go?
I tell you the truth, I don't know. It also could be that I'm moving to a higher vibrational body that's not attached to that cord. That's how I would perceive it. I have no use for the cord.
Next up, let's go to our wild card line. Where are you calling from?
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, sir.
Excellent show. Thanks for the presentation, William.
Sure thing.
Oh, thank you.
Now I've got to set up. I've got a question to ask, but I've got to set it up with some premise stuff. I know everybody on the show has heard of the Princeton eggs, which are basically quantum random number generators sitting in a box. Now, these are just reverse biased diodes or transistors, and the other place you would have heard of this is Frank's box. Okay?
You got it.
So Frank's box runs off of a random number generator, and the Princeton eggs run off a random number generator. The interesting thing is the Princeton eggs respond to events. That's been seen. Frank's box apparently talked to the dead, a.k.a. talking to other spirits. So this clearly lays out for us that our quantum physics, what we call noise, because we don't have any other way of quantifying it in physics, is activity on different levels. So like a camera on a street corner in another dimension, it looks random to you, but if they want to shake it and touch it, they can interface with it. So very interesting, some layout for that. Now, time. Everybody, Ed Dames, contrary to what he says, the future is not written, although it's set up such that it will appear that way. And you can see a certain amount into the future, a couple hours, I believe. Again, I was just setting this up. One interesting experiment would be really cool for you to do, set up a weigh scale, and when you're doing your out-of-body, see if your weight changes. It'd be nice if there's any sleep researchers out there listening to.
Well, there is some research that when you die, scientists found a very minute amount of weight was
Exactly. So now when you're out of body, it'd be interesting for somebody to do that. Now, the other one that's really interesting, apparently, is sleepwalking, to weigh people while they're sleepwalking. So if there's any researchers out there listening, you might find some really cool things doing that. Now, by the way, why we have such a akin to animals is because, as far as I understand, the evolution of soul material starts out in animals. They're basically our forefathers. Now, setting all this up, here's the question. Have you noticed a time... see, it's going to be hard because when you're in that experience, have you noticed any time differentials or time offsets between the earthly realm and the astral?
Oh, my God, yeah, it's huge.
Okay.
Because time doesn't... I've experienced, and this is difficult to convey, I've had out-of-body experience where I lived an entire life in 5 physical minutes. And to me, it was an entire lifetime. That's how meaningless our concept of time is. And I've done this on many occasions, had these enter into a state of, I don't know exactly what segment of what dimension I'm in, but my God, it's, you literally, time becomes meaningless. And I've also had multiple, matter of fact, the book I'm working on now, one of the things I've been exploring for 15 years is just exploring my own timeline through reincarnation.
Well, you might would assume, and as you said earlier on, you believe that there is extraterrestrial life out there, that those beings also go through this same metamorphosis with OBEs?
Absolutely. I feel strongly that that's the case. This is universal. Doesn't matter what planet or solar system you're on. We're all evolving inwardly to a non-form-based form of consciousness.
All right, let's go back to the phones. West of the Rockies, you're on with us. Hi there.
Hey, how's it going? I'd like to share an experience and see if there's any, I guess if you have any advice. I have been dabbling with out-of-the-body experiences, and I do recall conducting a session, and I did acquire the vibrational state, and then in that vibrational state I asked myself or my higher self or whatever was out there to show me the secrets of the universe. And then I just remember an extreme mass of static filling my head, and I guess it was like cussing me out. I can't say it on the air, but it was going like, mother effer, and it was very terrifying. And about a week after that, I remember just seeing shadow creatures all over my house about a week after that, and I couldn't exit my body after that. And I was just wondering if I had probably opened a negative doorway, or I don't think I was living a negative life back then.
No, that's just a fear-based reaction to the form-based are just astral entities. When you leave your body, you definitely attract beings or people all around you. Sometimes when I have an out-of-body experience, I think I'm entering a circus. I'm surrounded by 10 people asking me questions, and there's ways of handling this that I cover in my workshops. And but it's not a matter of what kind of life you're living. It's your perception of what happened. I think you have to. Sometimes you just have to get back on the horse and ride it. You know, just because you had that one experience. Remember, you're interpreting all of this. It's your mind's interpretation.
And that's what it really comes down to. Wildcard line, you're on with us. Hello there.
Hey, George, this is an absolute honor. I just want to thank you for doing what you do.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. William, this is fascinating. I have a couple questions for you, and I think you kind of touched up on it a little earlier. First one is this. Ever since I was a child, I would have these dreams of floating, and I mean, they were so surreal that, I mean, I could feel myself take off, fly around. I had absolute control over everything that I was doing, and it went away from me many years ago. I can't do it anymore. But is that considered an out-of-body experience from that perspective? Also, my second question is, from the time that I was a child, up until even last night, I do experience the vibrations, the noises, sometimes even borderline screams, which is really, somewhat disturbing at times. But I am trying desperately to get to that out-of-body experience, and I guess from that position of the vibrations, how do I get there? What do I do?
Okay. One of the biggest problems or mistakes people make is that